To Israel now, which is due to reopen a crossing on the Israeli-controlled border between Jordan and the occupied West Bank. The Allenby Crossing has been closed to aid trucks since late September after a Jordanian lorry driver shot dead two Israeli soldiers. An Israeli spokesperson said that from today, the crossing, which is also known as King Hussein Bridge, will be open to trucks carrying aid and goods destined for Gaza. But he added that they will undergo a thorough security inspection. The UN says the crossing is a major route for bringing food, tents and other goods into Gaza. Let's discuss this with Jonathan Fowler, a spokesperson for UNRWA. That's the UN's Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees. Jonathan is joining us from Amman, Jordan. Good to see you, Jonathan. How significant would the reopening of the Allenby Crossing be to your organisation's ability to bring aid to Gaza?
Well, all crossings need to be open. They need to be open consistently. They need to be open at scale to allow aid to flow towards the Gaza Strip and into the Gaza Strip. That's absolutely essential. But there is something extremely important to emphasize, which is that our organization, UNRWA, we remain banned from bringing any aid in by the Israeli authorities. This is a political choice, so it's not just about the crossing, but this is a choice to deprive the population of the Gaza Strip of an immense amount of aid. We have, in Jordan and Egypt, we have enough food for the population of the Gaza Strip for 3 months, and yet we are not allowed to bring it in. That ban was imposed in March. It was imposed on all aid organizations, progressively lifted for some of them, but not for us. That's a big question, and really this is why the opening of the crossing is only one part of the story. Important step, but crossings have to be accompanied with a full flow of aid.
If it is opened, are the new Israeli checks that we mentioned earlier, are they actually likely to slow trucks down significantly as they try and get into Gaza?
I mean, sadly, we've seen this throughout this war. Any aid organization trying to get aid in faces constant hurdles of changing restrictions, changing classifications, changing truck types. For example, we can be told one day it has to be a closed container truck. The next day, it has to be a flatbed truck with open sides. These kind of things. The rules and regulations change overly. Bureaucratically cumbersome. I mean, we recognise that rules need to be in place, but the thing is, the rules have to be consistent. So it's about doing everything to facilitate a humanitarian operation for a population which is in the direst of needs. The situation in the Gaza Strip, despite the ceasefire, remains catastrophic.
So, given everything that you're saying, the bureaucracy, the red tape, I mean, excuse me, is this going to make a real difference in helping people in Gaza, or not really?
I mean, it's very hard to speculate, to be quite honest. We've seen, unfortunately, a lot of announcements related to other crossings, for example, Rafah, Kerem Shalom, kind of on, off, depending on the situation or depending on, days of functioning, operating hours, all of these things. This is why clarity is absolutely essential. I mean, look, humanitarian organizations function often in incredibly complicated environments where there's an element of fogginess about how things are going to operate, but these should not be imposed. This is the point. There should be the primary interests of everybody in this region and globally should be to save lives on the ground in the Gaza Strip, which is actually what we are continuing to do inside the Gaza Strip, because despite the inability to get aid in, we are continuing to operate on the ground. 12,000 staff doing education, doing medical care, water supply, sanitation, all of the things which matter as much as getting boxes across a border.
You mentioned the ceasefire earlier. We're hearing Hamas say that there's really no phase 2 for the Gaza ceasefire, while Israel, as Hamas says, violates the truce. How is this stalemate affecting UNRWA's work in Gaza, the work that you were talking about just now?
I mean, we've never stopped working throughout the war. This is an important point, but clearly anything which fragilizes the ceasefire, as it were, renders the sort of visibility of what we're able to do or not able to do on any given day more complicated. And all humanitarians, whoever they are and wherever they are, need an element of clarity. This is the point. As I said previously, we often operate in very complex environments where there's an element of uncertainty. But I mean, what the Gaza Strip needs, what the people in the Gaza Strip now need, is a sustained ceasefire, and they need peace. I mean, there's no question about that.
Jonathan Fowler from UNRWA. Jonathan, thanks so much for speaking to us today.
Thank you.